Hello, what's up guys? Today we are talking about biology, the plant. As you all know that in the last video we have understood about the root system. We have understood about the root system, means the part which is below the ground, means this part. Means that this part which is below the ground over here, the root system. We have understood in our last video. And the people who are new to our channel, please subscribe our channel, like our channel, and click the bell notification that you will understand our videos. You will get a notification that when our videos are uploaded. So in the last video, we have learned about the root system. And as you all know that the root system was very big. That's why only the shoot system would be not as big as the root system. It will be triple of the root system. So that's why we will just first today learn about the leaf, this much part of the plant. Now you all know the plant is very small and the leaf is more small of it. But now you will understand today the plant is only small in size but not in what he does. So we will start. Now this is a basic leaf. It's a leaf which we can see everywhere. Now there are many types of leaves which we can understand, which we can see in our surrounding, over here and there. We also have some leaves in our garden, some plants in our garden which has different leaves like rose, people, plants, and that all. Over here, now you have just said that if I ask you what you can see in this leaf, you will say that over here there is one main vein, then over here some lines are over there, it's of green color, its margins are a little bit curvy over here, its shape is a little bit wavy, and that all. Yes, but there is something more from it. It is not just this much. Now you can see over here that this part over here, this part which is out of the from this portion the leaf starts, and this part which is over here, this now you not leaf doesn't flows in the air, doesn't floats in the air. The little bit part of the stem which is not attached to its green part, it's called petiole. Means there is a stem. From that stem, this part of the stem which connects the leaves to the stem is called petiole, which goes in the leaf and becomes midrib. Now first it was petiole, out of the leaf, out of this part it was petiole. But as soon as it goes in this part, means in the leaf, it becomes midrib. Or in simpler veins, you can say main vein. This part is called as the main vein. And these you can say as the secondary veins of the leaf. This, and these all. And then these margins, as it's a simple word like leaf margins. This margins is called as the leaf margins. This whole margin is called leaf margin. This whole margin is called leaf margin. And now the part, this part which is now, you know that like if we draw something on a paper. Now if I take a blank white paper or blank green paper and I draw something, lines over here and there, then consider that lines as veins, and the back part, means that green part, means the body of the leaf, is called the leaf blade. Sounds interesting? And in simpler ways, you can also call it lamina. Means this part which is not there, where nothing is there, only the green part, that part is called as the leaf blade or lamina. Now we'll go forward. Now you can just understand by seeing two different these pictures that I am now talking about the veins. I am now talking about these inner linings. Now there are two types of that inner linings. Means that veins, one is the parallel venation, this one, and one is the reticulate venation, means this one. Now in the parallel venation, this is our midrib, this line, and then over here there are parallel veins. One, then another two, then another three. They will not meet each other, never. And they also don't have any lines between each other. like we have in the reticulate venation over here. They are just attached from the midrib to the end of the leaf, straight in a sleeping line. And now reticulate venation. Reticulate venation has also one midrib over here. Then they have veins in any direction, in a curvy direction upwards, and then more small veins from them coming and attaching to the another veins. Means they all form a network like thing in each other. And this is called the reticulate venation. And there are some examples of the parallel venation are bananas, grass, and many more. And the reticulate venation is a common generally thing that we can see over in our surrounding, like we can see in roses, we can see in normal leaves, generally we can see them. And now we will go to another one, which is the arrangement of the leaves. Now you have never think that leaves could be there in a proper manner. Like we just think that leaves are over here on the stem, they can be here, they can be right, they can be left, they can be in front of us, they can be backwards of the stem, anywhere. But no, they also are there in a correct order, in a correct manner. So first we will learn about the alternate arrangements of the leaf. Now the ultimate arrangement of the leaves means this one. You can see that there is over here the stem. One leaf is there from the right side and then one is from the left side. Again from right, again from left, again from right, again from left. They are going alternate. First from the bottom. One is from right, then a little bit up from left. Then a little bit up, one is from right. Like this, they are there in alternate thing. The other one is opposite arrangements in leaves. You can see over here that one leaf is over here from the left side, as only from this part only there is one more leaf from the right side. They are forming a V-like thing. They are joining at one part. They are joining in one thing, in one position of the midrib. So this is called the opposite arrangement of the leaves. They are forming V. Over here V, over here and over here. This is called the opposite arrangement of the leaves. Now the whorled arrangement of the leaves. Now in this arrangement, they are not in an order. Over here, there can be in any direction. Over here, over here, over here, from here, anywhere on a stem. Like somewhere there will be 4. From this position there would be 4. From this there would be 3. From this would be 1. From this would be 2. From anywhere there could become any types of leaves. Over here can be 4. Over here can be 2. This is called the whorled arrangement of the leaves. They are not in an order. They are anywhere. So this was the arrangement of the leaves. Now we will talk about their shape. Now, as I said that there are many leaves in your surroundings. There are many plants in your surroundings. So you can just see that its shape is like an oval. Its shape is like an heart shape. It is different. It is different. Many like these shapes. That's why the leaves can be identified in the basis of their shape also. So today we will talk about 2 shapes, which is the heart shape and the oval shape. Now in the heart shape, you can see that the people means this plants, this trees, leaves are in an heart shape. From here like this going down, again up in a heart shape. So this is called heart shaped leaf, and these are generally found in people. And the another shape is our oval shaped. Now oval shaped, these is naturally found in guava and apples. So you can see that it's a nearly oval. It's nearly oval. That's why it's an oval shaped guava and apple. So you can identify leaves in their basis of the shape, in the arrangement of the leaves, in the venation. There are many things about the leaf. Now over here, leaves can identify by the basis of their margins also. Now over here in the first one, you can see that over here he has a wavy margin, like only moving circular, only moving in a curved line, like this over here. See now, over here it is going up, then again down in a correct manner. So it comes in a wavy manner. So that's why these are called wavy margins. They are just more in mango. And then the second one is tooted margins. Now tooted margins, you can see over here, they are sharp, like a little bit less sharp from the outer corners over here. These are mostly found in roses, China roses, then in other things. Then in prickly poppy, the most. They are very sharp. They can very well point. They are very pointed. If it touch, then it would feel harm. It will feel a little bit hurting, like. So these are wavy margins, and these are the tooted margins. Now we'll go forward. Now you would be understanding what I am talking about, photosynthesis. But first I want to tell you that anything in this world is just not just for the sake. Now you can see over here, over in this our plant, that you can see that over here their leaves are just for some purpose. The leaves are there for some purpose. The world, the things which are in the world, there is something for some purpose. That I am over here on the world for some purpose. There will be some reason. You are over there over in this world because there would be some reason. So that's why only there's nothing on this world only just for the sake. Like that, this place is there on now. I am getting bored, so I will just make this. God has not done like this. Everything is over there for some reason. So that's why there would be some purpose. There would be something that why the leaf is over there. This leaf, there will be one reason that why the leaf is over there. So yes, the thing is the photosynthesis. Now you can see over here our photosynthesis. Now in this photosynthesis, what you know that the leaf makes food for the plant. In the second slide that you have seen that the roots take up the water and gives to the stem, and then the stem gives to the leaf. So the leaf is getting like this. Then the carbon dioxide now you have to see that this one, the leaves, stomata is one whole type thing below the leaf, and this stomata helps the plant to let oxygen out from the leaf and carbon dioxide to go in. Now you would think that why we cannot see them from the naked eye, because they are very, very, very small, because air can go in it, because air don't have any shape, but they are very small. We have to see them from a microscope, from a powerful microscope. So that's why we cannot see them from a naked eyes. And now you will also think that the leaf is very small, the leaf is very thin. How there would be so much space in it for carbon dioxide and oxygen? Now there is very much space. Now we are big, so that's why we think that the things which are small from us, they are small, but not. If we would be small from them, they would think that why we are so small. There is a little bit space, a little bit, we can say that there is space. If we see from a microscope, no, we can see space inside it. There is very much space in the leaf also. So from that only this whole stomata, carbon dioxide goes in. So carbon dioxide is also going in from below the leaves, from the stomata, means from the downside, like this. And now left is the sunlight. Now how the plant would get the sunlight? As we all know that sun is always there for giving us sunlight. The sun rays fall on the leaf, and it gets sunlight, it takes sunlight, and then it starts its procedure of making food. Now you would be questioned like that, how? Why only leaf can make food? Why not stem? Why not the plant? Why not the flower? So the answer is, you know that the leaves are in green color. Yep, the leaves are in green color, not the flowers are all the green color, not the stem is, the stem is in green color, but the green color which I am talking about is the chlorophyll. Now chlorophyll is a chemical or a liquid-like substance which is there on a leaf. Means I've told you that the lamina, the leaf blade which is there over here on the leaf, it's chlorophyll. That chlorophyll helps the leaves to make food for the plant. So that's why these are in green color, and these have chlorophyll, so that's why they can make food for their own. Now, and this work is called, this thing is called, this is called photosynthesis. Now, there is not only one thing for leaves. There is one more procedure for a thing for a leaf is transition. Now, transition means, as I said, that over here stomata. Now, this stomata inhales. You will not understand like this. I will show you this one. That now you all know that when we all sit under a tree, we in a hot summer day, we feel that we are very now in below the shade of the tree. We feel a little bit cool. We always maximum times we sleep over there if we wait for a long time over there. Why? Because of the transition. Now leaves, now the plant doesn't take whole water which we give it. It throws down much water. Now, as I told, the stomata is below the leaf. Stomata is at the bottom of the leaf. So that's why only which water we give him from here, from the bottom, from the roots which we give water to him, from here like this up, it uses only 30 to 35% of water to make its food, and other 70% of the water it throws down from the stomata down. So that's why only when we sit below the tree, we feel a little bit cool and cool. So this is the major reason why from over here, from the leaves, imagine over here it is a leaf. From that over here are small stomatas. From the stomatas, when from the roots the water goes up over here like this, and from the stem it gives to the leaf, and from the leaf it makes its food, and the excess water it throws down, and that's why only we feel cool. This is the procedure of the transition. So this was the process of leaf, photosynthesis and transpiration. So this was the main process of the leaf. So in today's video we have learned about the leaf. Now there are more parts in a plant. You can see there are flowers, stem, and these we cannot do in today's video. To see these all, to understand these all, be with us, subscribe our channel, like our channel, and comment us that what do you want first. And yep, subscribe our channel, and thanks for watching our video till the end. Bye bye.